range of motion and mobility of it is still pretty restricted, but we're still kind of assessing it day to day. Probably not going to go out there with the team and do anything as far as like BP goes or fundamentals or anything like that, but it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to go to sleep again and reassess it again tomorrow with the trainers.
Are they putting kind of onus on you to kind of help decide whether or not this is going to be a lingering thing?
Yeah, a little bit, and it's kind of making it tough for me because I've never had a wrist injury before, and so I don't really know how to assess it as far as timeline goes and everything. But I'm just gonna have to keep talking to trainers. They've dealt with this a lot more than I have, so a lot of it is gonna have to be me being honest and telling them how it's feeling and everything, and then kind of working with them and making decisions.
I think it's really play. You dove head first. Did you see the flurry of the bag blocked?
Yeah, actually, I just went and looked at it on video again, and he was straddling the bag, so I was going to go in there head first, and that's what I normally do, especially when it was like, okay, the throw's coming, it's going to be close, and instincts kind of took over after that point. I just dove for the bag, and the throw kind of took him off the bag a little bit to where I can understand him like dropping the knee to kind of grab the throw and then kind of come back, and it's one of those things where he can't really see where I am, and he just comes back. I know as a catcher you do pretty much the same thing, and so it's nobody's fault really except mine. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been told like, hey, you could have slid feet first, and it's like, yeah, I know, and it's kind of one of those things where probably going to slide feet first next time, no matter what, just because I don't want this to happen again. It's the first time it's happened, but, I don't want it to ever happen again.
What percentage of the time was that?
Gosh, in the second base, I say a pretty decent amount. It's funny because on that play right there, I slide head first. If it's like a double that I'm sliding into second base, I'll slide feet first. It's a weird thing. I can't really explain it, but it's just how it happens. So on that particular play, when I'm trying to do the dirt ball read thing, if I'm sliding in second base, I'd say it's 90% of the time I'm sliding head first.
You're going to try and change it.
Yeah. I think it won't be that hard of a change after experiencing what I experienced yesterday.
You just tell your mind you're stealing the base.
Yeah, basically it's.
Or hitting a double instead of stealing the base.
Yeah.
Go slow.
Yeah, it's not good.
So you can paint in pain too, or?
Yeah, there definitely is pain there. I'd say, I've sprained my ankle before. I'd say it's something like that. So there is pain associated with the range of motion.
How important is wrist for it?
I'd say it's all in the wrist. If you don't have that, you don't got much to go off of. I bet you I could still work a walk, but watching 3 fastballs go down the middle.
Well, you hear a lot of those hitter injuries that they're concerned they don't have to make sure it heals, or otherwise it could challenge, or if you have to swing or
Yeah, that is one thing. A lingering injury wouldn't be good. At the same time, this is crushing me because I want to be out there playing. It's a great feeling to be back from like a season-ending thing that I had last year, and to be back out there opening day. It was I don't know. I was really amped up, and to just get that happened. The first inning hadn't even ended yet. It was kind of disheartening. But it's something that you don't want, a lingering injury. But I want to get back out there as soon as possible.
what's the main for the outfield this weekend?
Exactly. I gotta be out there for left field.
John, how much of the unknown factor is difficult since you've never had an injury like this before? Just how difficult was that to manage?
It is difficult. You're right. Like it's an unknown thing for me as far as the risk goes. Like Mark said, hitting wise, it's important. If you don't have your wrist there, there's not much you can do. But it is going to just be me being honest with the trainers and listening to them. So the rehab process can go quicker, and staying on top of it. Getting back as soon as possible is the key here.
So you have no target date for when you back to be able to take retreat?
No, it's a day-to-day assessment kind of right now. The good news is that nothing is broken in there, and they didn't mention anything about like a tear or anything like that in the ligament, so you can't really injure it more. So I guess it's part of just not prolonging the process, you know, making sure it's a speedy, quick recovery. I guess that goes along with like not aggravating it. I'm just gonna have to talk to the trainers and go with what they say.
Is there a difference between it being the top hand because it's the top versus when you hit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's taking the impact of the swing and connecting with the baseball. So I'm sure it's gonna, you know, my right hand is my bottom hand. I mean, you could go either way. My left hand's the top hand, but my right hand is like throwing hand and everything like that. So, so it's kind of a no-win situation there, especially when it comes to this game. But yeah, I mean, the top hand, as far as that goes, it's gonna. I mean, it drives the bat head to the ball, so it's gonna. You know, it definitely will play a factor.